Now I'm going to walk you through one of the most frequently asked interview questions when it comes to Aura components, and that is whenever we try to create an Aura component, we get access to the resource bundle. And as a part of the resource bundle, we get access to controller.js file and also helper.js file. Now, when we can write JavaScript in controller.js file and when we can write the same JavaScript in helper.js file, why do we get access to two different files altogether in the resource bundle? And let me try to summarize the question. We can write JS code in controller.js file and we can also write JS code in helper.js file. Now, if that is the case, why do we get access to two different files altogether? Now, in order to understand the answer for this question, we need to understand how Aura components work behind the scenes. For that, let me go back to the browser. I have an example here, and the example is I have an Aura component which is going to be accounts list, and within this Aura component, I'm trying to embed one more Aura component which is going to be account, and the rotation is going to be something like this. Now, just like how I'm trying to embed an Aura component which is account here, I'm also trying to embed the same Aura component right below it. So I'm trying to embed an Aura component called account twice, once here and second time here. Now the equivalent of this is going to be something like this. We have accounts list here, which is going to be this Aura component. Now for this Aura component, which is called account, we'll be having a resource bundle, and in the resource bundle, we'll be getting access to component file, controller file, helper file, renderer file, so on and so forth. And for this tag, we'll be having one more resource bundle, which is going to appear something like this. Now associated to this particular Aura component, we'll be having a component file, controller file, helper file, renderer file, so on and so forth. Now, whenever we try to see the output of this component in runtime, when it is running, what happens is a new instance for the component file will be created, and that is going to be this. A new instance for the controller file will be created, which is going to be this. A new instance for the renderer file will be created, which is going to be this. Likewise, a new instance for component file will be created as a part of the second resource bundle, and a new instance of controller file will be created, and a new instance of renderer file will be created. And looks like there's a small typo here. This has to be .js, this has to be .js, and also this has to be .js. Same is the case here, but I think you get the point. Now a new instance is created for component file, controller file, and renderer file, and same is going to be the case for the second resource bundle. But then only one instance of the helper file will be created, and that reference of the helper file is passed to both the components. If you notice it here, we have helper.js file. Only one reference to this helper file will be created, and that will be shared across these two components. Now you can call it a performance optimization technique, because in runtime, it's not trying to instantiate the helper file for this resource bundle and the helper file for this resource bundle. Rather, it's only going to instantiate the helper file once. Now one instantiation less should be considered as one instantiation less. It's going to have some sort of performance betterment whenever the component is running. And that is the reason whenever we try to create an Aura component, we get access to controller.js file and also helper.js file. And that is the reason we need to make sure that our controller.js file is always lean and all the business logic is pushed to helper.js file. That is because when we have multiple instances of an Aura component, then we'll be having a common helper.js file, and the code within the helper.js file will be shared with other references of Aura components. And one thing that we need to understand with Aura components is we are expected to write Aura specific code, and during runtime that will be converted to native JavaScript. Now, if we try to push all the business logic to helpers, and if we try to keep our controller.js file lean, then the conversion of Aura code to native JS code is going to be really fast when it comes to controller.js file, because we'll be having very less code there. And when it comes to helper.js file, though it takes time, that's absolutely fine, because the conversion will be done only once. And when there are multiple instances of the same Aura component, the same helper.js file will be sourced to the other references. And that is going to boost up the performance a lot. So that's all for this episode. See you in the next one.